Okay, here we are to talk about our
The
Transatlantic Cruise. Ooh. Yeah, ever since I saw Fair to Remember as a kid, I was always enchanted by it. It always looked nice. Like they're sitting on the deck chairs, watching the ocean go by. They're all bundled up. And yeah, wasn't really.
Not so much.
Not so much.
We were on Celebrity.
Yep.
And a style of boat that we had been on before on another
We were on the
celebrity boat.
Reflection, so if anybody's a celebrity cruiser, so it's the, I think the S-Class ships. I'm not positive of that though. We've done the Equinox before. It's like Equinox, Reflection, Silhouette, Constellation, I think are all in that. I don't know about the Constellation. I think that's older.
But similar layout as
Smaller
Equinox.
ship, not one of the big, massive, new ones, traditional balconies, all that. So, yeah.
So we knew where the bars were.
Yeah, we knew the important things. Yeah. Yes, and we did have the drink package, which turned out to be a very good thing.
Yes.
A lot of sea days. So the cruise, we had been going for four weeks. If you followed along, like sun up to sun, like a million steps, whatever. I lost weight. My clothes were all loose. Dave, same. We were like, all right, let's get on this cruise and put it back on. Which
and
we
then
did.
some.
We did, which we did. So, but unfortunately, the way Transatlantic works, right? Like, you either have some port days like around before you start the crossing, or there's nothing. But so we picked this one because we'd have some more port days. So right off the bat, we had 4 port days. So again, we're running, still exhausted. So first up, we did Marseille in France, which was great, beautiful.
Nice city.
You had, because it's cruise, again, some ports are far away from the center of the city, so we had to take a bus, which I think was
$15 each?
15
yeah,
euros,
we did it through the...
or dollars.
We did it through the cruise line.
They kind of scared you into don't take the local bus, which in hindsight was good because there were like 4 other ports in, so they have like a shuttle, but the line for it was crazy, so it was worth the $15 for that. So we get dropped off right in the center of town, right by a big church. But there's this big church up on the hill, and we're like, we can walk up there.
Yeah, easy.
Fine.
It's only a mile, something.
It was like a mile and a half. It said it was going to take like 45 minutes though, because it was like literally straight uphill. So we're walking, and then I look over and see a bus that has the name of the church on the screen. I'm like, why don't we just get on that? So we get on that bus, and it was like $2, I think, total for both of us. And it took us right up to the church. That was where like the European travel had come in handy, that I was like focused on stuff like that. Beautiful church up there, and then we walked back. We walked back down, which it was obviously an easier walk back down, but it would have been a sucky walk up.
Yeah.
So it was smart.
But a lot to see.
Yeah.
Nice little port with a bunch of cafes all around it.
Yep.
And then a whole big museum attached to 2 forts.
Yep. So
and then
we
another
walked through
big
that.
church to check out.
We walked through all that, and then we got on the bus back to the ship.
Mm-hmm.
Next up was Palma.
Palma, great city.
Yeah.
Island, Palma's on Mallorca.
Yep. Again, had to take a bus to get to the center of town. This was, you bought like on the pier, and that was cheaper. I think it was like
it was $10.
10 euros,
each.
I think, yeah. And there was a big church there, and we looked at it, and we were like, do we want to see another church? And it was kind of pricey. And we're like, you know what? This looks like a really cute little town. Let's just explore and walk around.
Walked around, analyzed about 30 different cafes before picking one.
Yeah, that
Thank
was the one
goodness
thing.
we picked the one that we did.
Yeah, for the whole trip, that was the one thing. That was the hardest thing, was picking where to eat lunch, dinner, everything, every day. It was like, because we both have paralysis analysis. Like, we cannot pick. So thankfully, we got lucky and picked like the best one, I think. I swear it was the best. They were so nice. The food was good. It was traditional Mallorcan food. They come out at the end, and Dave thought they just said, do you want the check? And she was like, do you want your free shot of liquor? And he says no. And I'm like...
She talked very fast.
I said, he didn't hear you, and she laughed at that because I was like, there's no way he's turning down free liquor.
No.
So that was nice. We did a little shopping there, got some food stuffs to bring home with us, and then again, went back to the ship.
Yep.
Next day, Cartagena.
Not the one in Colombia.
In Spain. Cartagena, we just did the Coliseum.
Yep, and we parked right in the center of town there. Or
Yes.
the boat did, not us, in a car.
Yeah. So it was very easy just to walk right to the Coliseum, which is the famous thing to see in Cartagena. So we spent a lot of time walking through there, walked all around, went up to the top to a fort as well. And then spent like an hour or so having just some snacks and lunch at
walking the streets. One of their streets, pedestrian way, is a marble line.
Yeah.
So that was pretty.
It was was nice.
Yeah.
Then Gibraltar. So the last one, where our luck ran out on the weather.
Yes, this was probably the first real rain we ran into the whole trip.
Yep, so pretty good run for 4+ weeks, but yeah, it was a really rainy day, which was a shame. We actually booked a shore excursion with the cruise for this one. I was a little nervous. This was your last stop before the 6 long sea days, so if you miss the cruise on this one, it's going to be, you're done, basically. You're finding your way back to America. So we did book a shore excursion that took you up to the Rock of Gibraltar, all in the caves and everything. It was a wonderful tour. The guy did a great job. Unfortunately, the weather wasn't great, so our pictures weren't great and everything, but it was still good.
Toward the end of the day, it got brighter.
Yeah.
So I do have a few good shots from the top, but, it's not their fault.
And then...
Sea
6. And I know most people like it. I was honestly completely looking forward to it because I was exhausted by this point. I could not wait to have absolutely nothing to do. Was so looking forward to it. First day, sleep in, late. I was like, not that late because it's still, I don't know. But it was good. Got up, lounged around, late breakfast. We had a good first sea day, I'd say.
Right.
Second sea day, we were pretty much like, okay, now it's time to go do something. We haven't done anything for a day. So we could not turn off the go, go, go. I think that was part of the problem why we didn't enjoy the sea days. Plus, we just aren't, I think, sea day people.
And there's nothing to look at.
There's, I love looking at the water going by. I do love that.
We can go to a resort for 10 days, never leave the resort.
Right. But I was hoping there would be more activities during the sea days that were different, but honestly, they were the exact same activities pretty much every day. I mean, they would change stuff, like there was the indoor archery, which we did that one day.
Yep.
But there was always trivia at 10 o'clock, trivia at 11 o'clock, then trivia at 3, name that 2 to 3:30, regular trivia at 4. So it was very, and then they did bring guest speakers, which on some of our other cruises, they were very interesting, so I was really hoping. Unfortunately, the topics on this one weren't ones that interest us. So that was kind of that. So there was a lot of downtime, and the weather wasn't great. Now, I knew it would be cold, but the sun wasn't even out. People who do transatlantics do them often. Almost everybody on this cruise ship had done 7 or 8 transatlantic cruises, and they all said this was the worst weather they had ever had, and they all weren't happy either with it. So I think that was part of the reason we didn't have great sea days, because you couldn't just lay by the pool and read a book or whatever. So you were pretty much inside. So it was kind of like you were in a hotel room for 6 days. We weren't in our rooms.
No.
But in a hotel, I guess. Picture almost like a casino, which we were in the casino.
I like the casino.
With nothing really to see or anything other than, so, we spent a lot of time at the bars, met a lot of really nice people.
Yep. Always someone to talk to, because, typically the cruisers like to get to know each other. So.
Yep. But every day we would do the name that tune trivia and
3:30
and 4 o'clock the general trivia, and we met these other 3 guys there every day, and that was the highlight of our day. So I mean, that's the thing. If that's the highlight of your vacation, the trivia,
No.
Yeah. But the staff makes the whole cruise on this one, on every celebrity on every cruise we've ever been on, really. But this one for sure. I mean, I can't say enough about the staff and how wonderful they are. The food, everything about the cruise itself was fine. 60 days, way too much for us. We just didn't have that.
And then, we could have spent some of that time working out, but based on the way that we packed, we really didn't have any room for workout clothes.
Right.
So part of our exercise was never taking the elevator. I think I took it 4 times total, just out of convenience. You took it once. Because I made you see the glass elevator all the way from top to bottom.
Right.
And so climbing stairs, we did one day, we up and down every flight a couple rounds. And then another day we walked every floor of the ship back and forth. And you might have seen that I took over 450 pictures of artwork in the hallways.
Yeah. People thought we were crazy. They didn't understand. I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah, that killed 2 hours.
Yeah, it did. Kept us from drinking,
Yeah.
Yeah. So when we finally got to Bermuda, we were excited.
Yes, first one's off.
Yeah, we weren't
not
first, but we were in the first 50. It was chaos. We were not the only ones who wanted off right away. Let's put it that way. And then we decided we were going to go to the beach. I wanted to see the Bermuda pink sand beach, so did some research on that and found out you could just take a bus So we hustled off to get our bus tokens and hustled to get our bus. We made it like right when the bus was supposed to come. Unfortunately, the bus must have had an issue or something.
He came and then said he wasn't taking us and drove off.
Right, and we weren't the only ones there, so it was a bunch of people. And so then it was like, what do we do? So it's going to be a half hour until the next bus. So we just sat there. In hindsight, we probably should have just gotten a cab or something, but it worked out fine. So we took the local bus, which was packed, for about a half hour maybe?
Yeah.
To the beach, walked right from the beach, from the local bus down to the beautiful beach. We got off the beaten path and went into some other little coves, which you probably saw some pictures of those. Great day. We just spent a couple hours at the beach.
Yeah, would have spent longer, but the bar ran out of beer.
Yeah.
You'd think they know that a cruise ship is coming in.
11:30 or something. It was early, so which was fine. We spent a little bit more time at the beach, but then I wanted to get back anyway. I was getting nervous again. I didn't want to miss the ship, so I wanted to get within eyesight of it. So, and Dave wanted to go to a brewery that was close to the ship, so we actually jumped on a local transfer that was only like $7.
A $7 jitney route taxi, whatever you want to call it.
Versus going back to where the local bus was.
And that was faster.
Yeah, way faster. So then we went to the little brewery that Dave wanted to go to.
Yeah,
Fun.
it was fun. Nice. Again, in an old building from the 1850s. So a lot of charm. Beer was good. Food was good. Food was really good. Those onion rings. And then we went to Calico Jack's, because we don't want to go back on the boat, but yet we'll go on a little floating bar next to the boat.
Yeah, but it was cute. It was
It
like
was
a little
cute.
pirate
ship. And
it was cute. And we could see the boat. So we literally sat there until about
like 20 minutes before
we had to be back on the ship, because we then had 2 more sea days. So the last 2 sea days, same thing, basically.
Yeah, they were better weather.
Yeah, it was better weather.
It was sunnier.
It was better weather. And then finally docked in Fort Lauderdale, and we were off, and we rented a car so we could drive home. And that was our trip.
We dropped it off at the airport at Orlando and then took an Uber back home.
Yeah, we originally were going to drive all the way home, get our car, and drive back. But we literally drove by the airport, and we said, you know what, let's save a little time. We were both anxious to get home and stay home.
Yeah. Well, as I said, if it weren't for the cruise, I could probably have done another month straight travel.
Oh,
if
for
I
sure.
had enough stuff and maybe different clothing than what I've been wearing the whole time.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. Even the cruise, like, I think if the cruise would have been like a round trip, like a med cruise, I don't fault that part. I liked that you got to see a lot of different cities.
With that.
It was, good for us as people that maybe want to spend a month in Europe and in one spot. It was great for us to see a bunch of different locations that would be a good place for us to check out. So yeah, maybe a European trip again on land, and then just a med cruise. But yeah, I don't think a transatlantic cruise is in our future for a long time. It's definitely for the older crowd. I completely understand why older people would like it, because you are contained, you have everything there you need, easier to get around. It was definitely an older crowd that also probably impacted our experience a bit. A lot of crabby old people, I'm not gonna lie. I may have yelled at one at the buffet for yelling at one of the staff members, because that's not acceptable. Cruising, I still am on the I would rather do something else camp, but living in Florida, we can get some really great last minute deals to cruises in the Caribbean, so I would still do one. I'm not saying I'm not gonna ever take a cruise again. We still will.
Yeah.
3 or 4 nighter for sure. Even a week if it was somewhere new that we wanted to go. But yeah, with all those long sea days, Dave had always said world cruise.
Not anymore.
So no more world cruise for us.
Yeah, I would say 2 sea days in a row is probably the max I'd want to handle.
Yeah. That's enough time to relax and enjoy, and yeah.
So I think we've covered most everything.
It was an epic trip. It was our longest vacation we ever had. Like I said, I was ready to be home just because I was ready to be home, like just off the cruise ship, I think. I could have traveled longer. It was nice to be home, though, and just have different clothes to wear. We were wearing the same, kept washing them, but, wearing the same shirts over and over and everything. And having regular food, too.
Yeah.
It was good. Because, the cruise, man, they used a lot of salt. Oh, my gosh, so much salt. Oh, so bloated by the time I got home. Finally lost all that bloat and weight, I think, finally.
Well, I haven't.
Just a couple pounds. We're good. So that's it. Thanks for following along, everybody. Stay tuned for the next adventure. Not sure what it is yet. We're in the planning stages now, but If you have any questions on planning and how to plan a trip or something similar to this, let us know.
Yep.